Nazis, Soviet communists, and critical race theorists share common Marxist roots. They all create a supposed group of victimizers and victims, pitting one against the other based on lies.
Tensions running high at a school board meeting in Texas where some parents criticized the Fort Worth superintendent for allegedly pushing critical race theory onto their students and into their classrooms. A group of those concerned parents join me now. That mother you just heard speaking at the board meeting is Tracy Jenkins, a mother of 3, along with Allison Kelly, a mother of 4, and Kelly Gamble, a mother of 1. Tracy, we just heard you very passionate there at that school board meeting. Tell me what you're standing up against in that moment. What have you started to see in your children's education?
Well, my children do not go to the Fort Worth public school system. We would love to send them there, but unfortunately they don't share our values because of things like critical race theory. They teach kids to be obsessed with race, and it's very divisive. I feel like it forces kids to have a focus on contrived things like microaggressions and divides based on race. You're either a victim or a victimizer.
So, Tracy, you've opted to keep your children out of the Fort Worth School District. You know, Allison, one of the things that I see those that push back on, for example, what you're standing up against, they say, do you understand what critical race theory is? You know, Tracy began to lay out some of it there. What do you understand critical race theory to be and how it's impacting education?
That's a great question. I actually did have kids in Fort Worth ISD for 7 years, and not just critical race theory, but there's just an ideology that seems to be infiltrating our schools and being indoctrinated into our students. And CRT has come along, and what it's doing is it's taking the focus off of education. Our ISDs should be educating and not indoctrinating. And as Tracy did say, CRT is doing just that. It's teaching our children to continue to be divisive and not seeing a unity, but a divisiveness in pointing out the race of children and causing some to be oppressors and some to be oppressed.
Yeah, that's exactly. Actually, I think you're hitting it right on the head there, because it's not limited to race. Tracy talked about it. You could hear in the clip we pointed out. It's dividing people into oppressors and oppressed and defining systems based upon that dynamic, that framework. So, Allison, Kelly, what can a person do? What can a parent do in that environment?
Well, it starts in the home, and we need to be teaching kids that we are judging someone not based on the color of their skin, but on the content of their character. We need to get back to the basics and remember that all men are created equal. And, you know, I think it's our heart to unite us as a human race. I've had the fortunate ability to be a school teacher in both public and private school for many years, and I had the privilege as a foreign language teacher to encourage our students to appreciate and celebrate the differences. Yeah. And it's important to note that we are not negating the importance of teaching our nation's history. It is absolutely important that we look into the civil rights movement and we dissect the words of Martin Luther King, and we ask the hard questions like, what does it look like when someone has judged another based on the color of their skin rather than the content of their character? We're simply questioning, is CRT the best way to heal the human race at this point in time?
And we believe that it's not. CRT would focus on every sin that America has ever committed while disregarding all of the strides that it's made and all of its accomplishments. It teaches children to hate themselves because of their skin color, hate the values that they're raised with in their home, and to hate their country. It's not producing any good fruit whatsoever.
Yeah, ladies, 3 enlightened perspectives there that show not just what CRT is, but how it's affecting children from both an educator, a parent, and a parent who's pulled their students out of that district. Really appreciate you telling us your experience and enlightening us this morning. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.